you guys don't get the kind of calls I get and emails I get from doctors who are, my age. They're now in their 80s and 90s like me, and and they're saying, I have no money. I don't know what to do. I'm ready. I'm on the back end of my career. I'd like to be pulling back. I'm tired. I hurt. My back hurts. My feet are numb. My wife would like to spend some time with me, but I don't have any money. One of the things I want to mention too, and this is like this unfortunate reality and why I moved so aggressively in this direction. So when we were coaching Get to 1,000 a Week, a couple of really negative things happened that made me feel really bad about myself and why I'm so glad I no longer am part of Maximize Living. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just glad I'm not doing that anymore. One is, most of my clients failed even though they were doing pretty well. So they get to 300 a week, leave the clinic and leave the seminar and go, I feel like a failure, because everybody on stage was seeing 1,000 a week. So you were an utter failure at 300. So that was one of the problems. The second thing is you couldn't become a millionaire unless you got to 1,000 a week. So the reality for a lot of you and most of us is that the number you're at's the number you're at. Even like a guy like Dr. Matt, who's one of the greatest chiropractors like literally in history, Dr. Matt Paymer, who you'll hear from later. You've been at 1,000 a week or so, around that, for a long time. We all tend, get to, that's a huge number, historic number, but that's about the number. All of us have a number that's about our number, right? Is that pretty accurate? I mean, everybody's kind of around a certain number, but you don't need to be doomed to a certain income because you're at a certain number. All you have to do is increase the amount of money you make on an average for that number. Is that making sense to you guys? Yep. So that's how 180 a week has become, somebody who can make well over $1 million a year. So some of the things my clients have added, and just aggressively the last couple of years, my clients have added functional medicine, decompression, and shockwave are our 3 examples. I've personally never added shockwave in any of my clinics. That's one thing. What we're adding now is regenerative medicine is what I've added to my clinics. So we're doing, when I mentioned I'm opening up, we're in the process of 7 being open here shortly and 9 hopefully by 2024. Those are all chiropractic with regenerative medicine. And that's why we're coming in 1-2 days a week doing 50,000-60,000 a week. But that just added on top of the chiropractic. So this doctor I'm talking about, that's what he added: functional medicine, decompression, shockwave. So the functional medicine, again, he was randomly doing some supplement sales. Now people are on supplement programs through the functional medicine. The majority of his patients are doing decompression, shockwave, or both. So now this is crazy. Remember, again, 2 years ago, he was collecting, what was he collecting, if you remember? $38,000 a month. The last 2 months, $132,000 2 months ago, $150,000 last month. I talked to him yesterday, collected $60,000 in the first 10 days of this month. So he's on track to do $180 this month. So he's on track to be making $150,000 more than a year ago per month. It's actually probably closer to 2 years ago. $150,000 more per month than he was making at the same exact volume. Now let me tell you something. He's still an extremely principled chiropractor. Another woman, also at $60,000 in 10 days. She's a CCC client up in Connecticut who started with us 2 years ago, has 2 small children. Husband doesn't work. Her goal was to see less people and go from working 5 days to 4 days. Now she's made $60,000 in the first 10 days of the month. She's making $60,000 a month working 5 days at a higher volume. And she added laser and decompression, plus did everything we were talking about up here with her care plans and her wellness plans. The wellness plan, she's at $80 a visit for wellness. That freaked her out because she sees a lot of people once a week. It's like, my patients are not going to want to spend $80 per visit, $320 a month on wellness plans. She's had no problem doing it. And we're going to talk about some of that communication again. But if you're communicating this right, people will do it. Also, I think you're putting that thought in their head. Most of the time when I hear people are worried about what the patients are going to say, I'm like, has anyone actually said that? Like, that's mostly what you have in your head that you think they're going to be thinking. It's generally not true. And if it is true, back to just getting better communication, communicating it differently, and believing you can get the people there. And there's people in this room, by the way, that have been doing similar things and seeing similar results. So again, the overall per visit collection average went to $187 from $39. So that's this guy's collection average. But here's the other critical thing, and this is when we talked about it earlier, remember the goal and the golden goal? Remember we talked about that? Is now what's happening with that money. So this is where, I did a video of this the other day that we posted. You guys don't get the kind of calls I get and the emails I get from doctors who are, my age. They're now in their 80s and 90s like me, and and they're saying, I have no money. I don't know what to do. I'm ready. I'm on the back end of my career. I'd like to be pulling back. I'm tired. I hurt. My back hurts. My feet are numb. My wife would like to spend some time with me, but I don't have any money. And so chiropractors are just done as a whole. And same thing, it's all doctors and professionals tend to do this poorly as a whole. And back to that research earlier, what we're doing with the money, we don't know what we're doing with the money. We're basically just spending it. But the other thing this doctor did, and I've got to get him to come speak too, because this guy's just killing it. But in that same 24-month period that we've done this, he's purchased a brand new house, 3 duplexes, 1 single family home that he closed on last week. He's been purchasing mortgages, which is something that I help my docs get into. And I got him with my Raymond James. If you have enough money, you can get with my Raymond James investment manager. He just got with her. And so he's also becoming uber wealthy in this process too. That money just didn't go wherever. It went into investments. And so this guy, is headed places. I love this guy. And we just had the girl I just mentioned from Connecticut. She met with my investment advisor last week too. Not that I'm trying to build my investment advisor or anything like that, but we get you with the right people, because now you're going to be doing some good things with that money now that you actually have that excess income to invest.